The year is 180 AD. The sun hangs heavy over Rome, casting a golden glow across one of the most terrifying stages ever built by human hands, the Colosseum. 50,000 people roar like a living storm. They didn't come for sport, they came for blood. Sand is already stained dark from earlier fights. Broken bodies are dragged away like discarded props. The smell of iron and sweat clings to the air. High above it all, seated like a god among men, watches Commodus. To him, this isn't cruelty, it's entertainment. But today, something is different, something impossible. Beneath the arena floor, hidden in the labyrinth of tunnels where gladiators wait for death, 4 shadows appear. Not summoned, not chosen, dropped. A modern United States Navy SEALs fire team, 4 operators, 4 of the most highly trained warriors the modern world has ever created. Men forged through years of brutal training, designed for chaos, built for war. But not for this, not for Rome. They step out into the blinding sunlight. The crowd goes quiet, not out of respect, but confusion. Their gear alone is enough to shatter reality. Matte black rifles, tactical vests, helmets, radios. To Roman eyes, they don't look like men. They look like something else, something divine or cursed. Each SEAL carries an M4A1 carbine, capable of unleashing controlled death with surgical precision. One of them holds heavier firepower, an MK-48 machine gun, a weapon that can tear through groups of enemies like paper. Sidearms, combat knives, grenades, and something Rome has never seen before, communication. They speak into radios like they're talking to invisible spirits. To the Romans, it looks like magic. To the SEALs, it's just another mission. A horn echoes. The first gate opens. This is the warm-up, a venatio, a beast hunt. 2 starving lions emerge, massive, muscular, furious. The crowd erupts again. Now this is familiar. This is what they came for. The SEALs don't panic, they move. Without speaking, they spread out in a clean arc. Rifles rise, safety off. The first lion charges, fast, powerful, unstoppable. 30 meters, 20, 10. 2 shots crack through the air. The sound alone shocks the entire arena. The lion collapses mid-leap, its body crashing into the sand like it hit an invisible wall. Silence, pure silence. The second lion freezes. For the first time in its life, it hesitates. Another SEAL steps forward. 3 controlled shots. The king of beasts drops. Just like that. 5 bullets, 2 predators, 0 effort. The crowd doesn't cheer, they stare. Some whisper prayers, others clutch amulets, because what they just saw was not human. Up above, Commodus leans forward, eyes narrowing. His game, his spectacle, has just been ruined, and he doesn't like it. Next comes desperation. 10 condemned prisoners are thrown into the arena. They're handed crude weapons, swords, clubs, broken shields, and a promise. Kill the strangers, and you live. It's a lie, but fear makes men believe anything. The prisoners spread out, slowly circling, hunting. The SEALs tighten formation instantly, back to back, each man covering an angle, a perfect defensive circle. They've turned the arena into a kill zone. The prisoners rush. At 20 meters, the SEALs fire. Not wildly, not emotionally, precisely. Each shot placed with intent. One man drops before he even finishes his first step. Another spins and falls, then another. Within seconds, half of them are gone. The rest stop, frozen, terrified. One SEAL gestures with his rifle, a universal message: drop it. 3 men immediately throw down their weapons. They back away. They choose survival. But the others, they charge, because sometimes fear is stronger than reason. The SEALs switch to automatic fire and end it before the distance even closes halfway. No celebration, no emotion, just breathing, controlled, professional. Now comes the real test. The gates open again, and the professionals walk in. Gladiators, not victims, not prisoners, killers. A murmillo steps forward, towering shield, short sword ready. Beside him, a retiarius, light, fast, carrying a net and trident. They move like dancers, like hunters. The net flies, the murmillo charges. The seals don't hesitate. 2 shots. The retiarius collapses instantly. The murmillo raises his shield, and for a moment it works. A bullet deflects, but only for a moment. Then the rifle roars. A burst of fire climbs from his legs to his head. The armored warrior crashes into the sand. More gates open, more fighters, an archer, 4 more gladiators. The seals adapt instantly. The archer goes first. 1 shot. Done. The others rush from different angles, trying to surround them, trying to overwhelm them. A grenade leaves one seal's hand. A small object, almost harmless looking. It lands. A second passes. Then the world explodes. Sand erupts. Bodies disappear. The front rows scream as debris rains over them. The survivors stumble, death, disoriented, and are cut down seconds later. One gladiator gets close enough to swing. His blade strikes, but fails. Modern armor absorbs the blow. He doesn't get a second chance. Now, only champions remain. One advances carefully, using tactics, movement, zigzagging across the arena. Smart, calculated. The seal answers with something Rome cannot comprehend. A 40mm grenade. Impact, explosion, end. Another charges desperately, reaching one of the seals, striking his leg. Finally, blood. The seal reacts instantly, a rifle strike to the face. A teammate finishes it. They're still standing, but now they're feeling it. Sweat, pain, fatigue, ammo lowering. Up above, rage boils. Commodus stands. Enough games. He orders war. The gates open wide. Roman soldiers march in formation, shields locked, spears ready. Chariots thunder behind them. Archers take aim. This isn't a show anymore. This is battle. The seals reposition, quickly, efficiently. Grenades fly. Explosions rip through tight formations. Chaos erupts. Men fall screaming. Gunfire follows, relentless, precise. A chariot charges, an arrow flies and hits its mark. A seal takes a hit in the shoulder, the first real wound. He doesn't stop. He switches hands, keeps fighting. The chariot falls, then another. When the dust settles, the arena is silent again, except for breathing, heavy, exhausted. They're still alive, but barely. Ammo is lower. Bodies surround them. The sand is no longer sand. It's something else now. Then the final gate opens. Commodus himself walks out with his elite guard. The crowd holds its breath. This is history. The seals regroup one last time, back to back. No fear, no hesitation, only resolve. The emperor speaks, mocking, arrogant, certain of victory. The seals don't understand the words, but they understand the moment. Gunfire erupts, guards fall, javelins fly. One seal goes down. Weapons run dry, pistols come out, close range now, personal, brutal. The emperor moves in, ready to claim his victory. A gunshot echoes, a bullet strikes his chest. He stumbles, and in that moment, everything changes. A wounded seal rises, knife in hand, and ends an empire with a single strike. Silence. The arena doesn't erupt, it doesn't cheer, it doesn't breathe. Because no one understands what just happened. 4 men, from a future no one can imagine, stood against the greatest empire on earth and won. Not because they were stronger, not because they were more brutal, but because they came from a world that had already learned how to perfect war. And as the dust settles, one question remains. What happens when the past meets the future and loses?